Hello, Petal. How are you doing? How is everything? How are you going? Everything here is ticking over. So I've been stripping wallpaper, which is 3/4 of the way done. It's a bit of a project because it's like 30-40 year old. So it's a real achievement and something to be proud of. You know, when you got a room and it's just kind of like it's been so overbearing for so long, and then suddenly it's like, it's all light and shiny and it makes me happy. Yeah, that's the highlight of my weekend because I'm rock and roll that way. How about you? Tell me, how are things going? How is everything? I see this is a 6th day, so I'm trying to definitely to get these recordings done within a week. This week I've got another project on, and hopefully I can include this in my daily recordings of the same. I would like to do that. That would be very, very good because it's all hotting up here now. And it's only a short book, so it should have been done by now. We're getting on to the end of summer. We've got to start thinking about autumn and that winter season. Dun, dun, dun. So tell me, how have things been? What have you been up to? What's been going on? I think our lovely American friends have got Labour Day weekend coming up. We've just had a bank holiday. I'm actually on a bank holiday right now. I can't remember the origins of bank holidays, but basically we get 8 of them a year in the UK. And it's like Christmas, Boxing Day, New Year's Day, Good Friday, Easter Monday, May Day bank holiday, and one in August, and I'm missing one. I think there's 2 in May. I think there's one at the beginning and one at the end. But basically, they're free Mondays off, and then if you're not contracted to work Mondays, but you work Mondays, you get triple time. Apparently, depending on your boss. I don't know. So as you can tell, my voice is still a bit dubbing pony, a little bit hoarse, a little hoarse. I can never get that joke right, but there's others that can. Dad jokes. We haven't had a dad joke in a while, thinking about it. So if you want to put a dad joke in the comments, please do. If you've got this far in my babble. So if you hear any snoring or any screeching, that's likely to be Xena, because she's been quite vocal today with her noises in her little cardboard box. Best cat bed ever is the large conglomerate shipping company that everybody uses for everything pretty much nowadays, Box. Just cut out the little hole in the middle and it kind of like, so it's a little U shape. Perfect cat bed. Got a little fleece in there, sorted. She also likes to scratch the sides of it, which is fantastic. So yeah, it's an all-in-one bed, you see. It's squishy post bed, comfy, and yeah, you would get it free anyway because you're already buying the stuff anyway. Yes. Right then, my lovely beans, as ever, please let me know how you're getting on in the comments and send me an email or drop me a line because I always enjoy getting them and sending them back and forth. It's always great fun. What else was it I was going to tell you about? I'm sure was there something else I was going to tell you. Don't you hate when your brain just goes in 3 different directions? It's quite crazy. I've got a new addiction, though, before we get onto this. Oh my goodness, the Broken Wood Mysteries are awesome. Thank you, Rose, you absolute freaking legend. Is it a thank you? They're really good. I'm just like, I got really just like, oh, I do like a good mystery, and I do like a very strong female protagonist. It's nice when you kind of like have balance and equalness between the two. And I find that you've got that in the Broken Wood Mysteries, but it's just, yes, more honey tea is required. Excuse me for just 1 second. Seriously, I don't know what I'd do without you guys. You keep me insane. Did I say insane? I meant sane. I'm not going to edit this at all. We're going to run through. We're not going to do any edits at all today. We're going to just run through and see how well we do, and I hope you enjoy it. As ever, likes and notifications and shares and blah-de-blahs and all that sort of malagles, and subscribe. Yeah, if you don't already. So yes, please do the YouTube usuals. And I really must work a bit more on my on my Substack. That's something else I need to do. Thinking out loud there. So, lovely beans, we'll get there in the end. Chapter 12 of Another Fine Myth by the wonderful Robert Aspirin. First impressions are of major importance in business matters. J. and Pierre Pontefinch. Did I say that right? May I help you, gentlemen? The proprietor's rich robes did not successfully hide his thinness. I am not particularly muscular, as Skeeve, that is, but I had the impression that if I struck this man, he wouldn't bruise. He'd shatter. I mean, I've seen skinny men before, but he seemed to be a skeleton with a too small skin stretched over the bones.
We'd like to talk with Abdul,
Aahz said loftily.
I am he, and he is I,
recited the proprietor.
You see before you, Abdul, a mere shadow of a man, pushed to the brink of starvation by his clever customers.
Seem to be doing all right for yourself, I murmured, looking about me. The shop was well stocked, and even my untravelled eye could readily detect the undeniable signs of wealth about. The rugs were delicately woven in soft fabrics unfamiliar to me, and gold and silver shone from the depths of their designs. Now it is not, why is it I say shone and then Americans say shone? Shone doesn't equate to my brain, just saying. Obviously these rugs were intended for the wealthy, and it seemed doubtful their current owner would be suffering from a lack of comfort.
Therein lies the tale of my foolishness,
cried the proprietor, wringing his hands.
In my blind confidence, I sank my entire holdings into my inventory. As a result, I starve in the midst of plenty. My customers know this and rob me in my vulnerable times. I lose money on every sale, but a man must eat. Actually, I said actually,
Aahz interrupted.
We're looking for something in a deep shag, wall-to-wall carpet. What's that? I mean, do not confuse poor Abdul, so my humble business. Come off it, Abdul, or should I say, Frumple.
Aahz grinned his widest grin.
We know who you are and what you are. We're here to do a little business.
At his words, the proprietor moved with the swiftness I would not have suspected him capable of. He was at the door in a bound, throwing a bolt and lowering a curtain which seemed to be of a substance even more strange than that of his rugs.
Where did you learn your manners?
He snarled back over his shoulder in a voice quite unlike the one used by the whiny proprietor.
I've got to live in this town, you know. Sorry,
Aahz said, but he didn't sound at all apologetic.
Well, watch it next time you come barging in and start throwing my name around. People here are not particularly tolerant of strange beings or happenings.
It seemed to be merely grumbling to himself, so I seized the opportunity to whisper to Aahz, Psst, Aahz, what's the water?
Later, kid.
You. The proprietor seemed to see me for the first time.
You're in the statue. You are the statue. I didn't recognize you moving.
Well, I
should have known.
He raved on.
Deal with him, so you invite trouble. Next thing you know,
He broke off suddenly and eyed us suspiciously. His hand disappeared into the folds and emerged with a clear crystal. He held it up and looked through it like an eyeglass, scrutinizing us each in turn.
I should have known. He spat. Would you be so kind as to remove your disguises? I like to know who I'm doing business with.
I glanced at Aahz, who nodded in agreement. Closing my eyes, I began to effect the change to our normal appearance. I had enough time to wonder if Frumple would wonder about my transformation, if he realised I was actually a different person than the statue he had seen earlier. I needn't have worried.
A pervert.
Frumple managed to make the word sound slimy.
That's perfect if you want to do business with us.
Aahz corrected.
It's perfect until I see the colour of your money.
Frumple sneered back. I was suddenly aware he was studying me carefully.
Say, you wouldn't by any chance be an imp named Throckwaddle, would you?
Me? No, I'm... But he was already squinting at me through the crystal again. He grunted, tucking his viewer back in his robe.
I guess you're okay. I'd love to get my hands on that Throckwaddle, though. He's been awfully free spreading my name around lately. Say, Frumple,
Aahz interjected.
You aren't the only one who likes to see what he's doing business with. Or who he's doing business with, you know? Oh, very well. If you insist.
I expected him to close his eyes and go to work, but instead he dipped a hand into his robe again. This time he produced what looked like a small hand mirror with some sort of a dial on the back. Peering into the mirror, he began to gently turn the dial with his fingers. The result was immediate and startling. Not merely his face, but his whole body began to change, filling out and taking on a definite reddish hue. As I watched, his brows thickened and grew closer together. His beard line crept up his face as if it were alive, and his eyes narrowed cruelly, almost as an afterthought. I noted that his feet were now shiny cloven hooves, and the tip of a pointed tail appeared at the bottom hem of his robe. In an impressively short period of time, he had transformed into a devil. Despite all my preparations, I felt the prickle of superstitious fear as he put away the mirror and turned to us again.
Are you happy now?
He grumbled at Aahz.
I said it's a start,
Aahz conceded.
Enough banter.
Frumple was suddenly animated again.
What brings a perfect to claw? Slumming. And where does the kid fit in? I said he is my apprentice,
Aahz informed him.
Really?
Frumple swept me with a sympathetic gaze.
Are things really that tough, kid? Maybe we could work something out? He's quite happy. I said he is quite happy with the situation, interrupted Aahz. Now let's get to our problem. You want me to cure the kid's insanity? Huh? No, come on, Frumple. We came here on business. I said we came here on business. Let's declare a truce for a while, okay? If you insist. It'll seem strange, though. Perverts and devils have never really gotten along. That's perfect. See what I mean?
Aahz, I interrupted. Could you just tell him?
Oh, all right, kid. Look, Frumple, we've got a problem. I said we've got a problem. We were hoping you could help us with. You see, I've lost my powers.
What? Exploded Frumple.
You came here without the magical ability to protect yourself against being followed. That tears it. I spent 7 years building a comfortable frontier and some idiot comes along and... Look, Frumple, we told you the kid, he is my apprentice. He knows more than enough to cover us. A half-trained apprentice? He's trusting my life and security to a half-trained apprentice? You seem to be overlooking the fact we're already here. If anything was going to happen, it would have happened already. Every minute you two are here, you're threatening my existence. Which is all the more reason for you to deal with our problem immediately and stop this pointless breastfeeding.
The two of them glared at each other for a few moments, while I tried to be very quiet and unnoticeable. Frumple did not seem to be the right choice for someone to pin their hopes on.
Oh, all right.
Frumple grumbled at last.
Since I probably won't be rid of you any other way.
He strode to the wall and produced what looked like a length of rope from behind one of the rugs.
That's more like it,
Aahz said triumphantly.
Sit down and shut up,
ordered our host. Aahz did as he was bid, and Frumple proceeded to circle him. As he moved, the devil held the rope first this way, then that, sometimes looped in a circle and other times hanging limp. All the while he stared intently at the ceiling, as if reading a message written there in fine print. I didn't have the faintest idea what he was doing, but it was strangely enjoyable to watch someone order Aahz about and get away with it.
The devil said at last. Yes, I think we can say your two powers are definitely gone. Terrific,
Aahz growled.
Look, Frumple, we didn't come all this way to be told something we already knew. You devils are supposed to be able to do anything. Well, do something. It's not that easy, pervert.
Frumple snapped back.
I need information. How did you lose your powers anyway? I said I don't know for sure,
Aahz admitted.
I was summoned to Claw by a magician, and when I arrived, they were gone. A magician? Which one? Garkin. Garkin. He's a mean one to cross. Why don't you just get him to restore your powers instead of getting me involved? Garkin? Because he's dead. Is that reason enough for you? That does make it difficult. Are you saying you can't do anything?
Aahz sneered.
I said I should have known. I always thought the reputation of the devils was overrated. Look, pervert, do you want my help or not? I didn't say I couldn't do anything, just that it would be difficult. That's more like it,
Aahz chortled. I said, let's get started. Not so fast, interrupted Frumple. I didn't say I would help you, just that I could. I see, sneered Aahz. Here it comes, kid. The price tag. I told you they were shakedown artists. Actually, the DeVille said dryly, I was thinking of the time factor. It would take a while for me to make my preparations, and I believe I've made my feelings quite clear about you staying here longer than is absolutely necessary. In that case, smiled Aahz, I suggest you get started. I believe I've made my feelings quite clear that we intend to stay here until the cure is effected. In that case, the DeVille smiled back at him. I believe you raised the matter of cost. How much do you have with you? Well, we have, I began. That strikes me as being unimportant. Aahz glared warningly at me. Suppose you tell us how much you feel is a fair price for your services. Frumple graced him with one withering glare before sinking thoughtfully into his calculations. Material cost is up, and of course there's my time, and you did call without an appointment. Let's say it would cost you, just as a rough estimate, mind you, in the neighborhood of, say... He suddenly brightened and smiled at us. Maybe be willing to work this as a trade. I cure you, and you do me a little favor. What kind of favor? I said, what kind of favor? Aahz asked suspiciously. For once I was in a complete agreement with him. Something in Frumple's voice did not inspire confidence. A small thing, really. The DeVille purred. Sort of a decoy mission. We'd rather pay cash, I asserted firmly. Shut up, kid, Aahz advised. What kind of decoy mission, Frumple? You may have noticed the young couple who entered my shop ahead of you. You did. Good. Then you have doubtless noticed they are not on the premises currently. How did they leave? I asked curiously. I'll get to that in a moment. Frumple smiled. Anyway, this is an interesting, if common story. I'll spare you the details, but in short, the young lovers kept apart by their families. In their desperation, they turned to me for assistance. I obliged them by sending them to another dimension where they could be happy, free of their respective families' intervention. For a fee, of course, Aahz commented dryly. Of course, Frumple smiled. Come on, Aahz, I chided. It sounds like a decent thing to do, even if he was paid for it. Quite so, beamed the DeVille. You are quite perceptive for one so young. Anyway, my generosity has left me in a rather precarious position, as you have no doubt noticed. I'm quite concerned with my image in this town. There is a chance that image may be threatened if the couple's relatives succeed in tracking them to my shop and no further. That must have been some fee, Aahz mumbled. Now, my proposition is this. In exchange for my assistance, I would ask that you two disguise yourselves as that couple and lay a false trail away from my shop. How much of a false trail? I asked. Oh, it needn't be anything elaborate. Just be seen leaving town by enough townspeople to ensure that the attention will be drawn away from my shop. Once out of sight of town, you can change to any disguise you like and return here. By that time, my preparations for your cure should be complete. Well, what do you say? Is it a deal? Oh, things are getting spicy. So, do you think Frumple's going to double cross them as well, like he did with the little couple? Mm-hmm. I am really enjoying this. It's so much fun, and the thing is, whenever I finish a chapter, I always end on the next page, so I know where to start off with. Obviously, bookmark it, like, you know this. But I normally kind of get a glimpse at the next quote that's at the beginning of the next one. All I saw was Bonaparte, and I'm like, what's he got to say for himself? But you'll have to wait until next week to find out that. Not that it matters. But it's going to get really hot here soon. It's about to get up to 26 degrees today, I think it was saying, at its hottest, and 25 is my comfort barrier. I know it doesn't sound like much, but we've had the conversation about UK weather and how clammy and icky icky it is. But it's going to break because we're coming up to September. September's my favourite month. October actually is probably my favourite month, but September is my month, you know. It's like autumn baby as it is. And so I'm looking forward to seeing those leaves turn and the air get that chilled and that. I don't know if you can use the term petrichor for like that smell in the air, but I think I described it last time where you remember in summer rain and when the sun starts to come out, you get this smell in the air. It's beautiful. It's the water's drying off the ground and it's called petrichor. But my one is autumn mornings when you go out and the mist is out and the stone has a smell to it. And it's got a slight tinge of coal and it's only here that I've ever smelt it. And you breathe it, oh, it's gorgeous. I can't even tell you and I can't wait to smell it. And I'd really like to go up to the fells and maybe get some pictures there. That'd be nice. She says dreaming. It would be lovely to be able to walk out there and just whenever you like and just go bloop, I go over there. There you go. Oh, gorgeous. Anyway, I'm going to have to start getting some photography done next year because it's been a while. Got this awesome camera and I never flipping use it. Yes, I do like photography. It's awesome. But I will stop whiffling because I'm going on tangents. Apart from that, I actually changed the jewellery box into a monitor stand by just putting some vinyl on it. I'm looking on it right now. It's actually rather pretty. pretty. I digress. If you are in a winter season or an autumn season, please wrap up warm and have a nice hot drink and keep yourself all cozy. If you are in a climate where it is summer right now and it's far too hot and it's uncomfortable, please make sure you drink lots and lots of water and stay in the shade and wear cool clothing, but protect your skin at all costs because that's really important. Yes. And let's race towards autumn. And as I said, Odds and Gods will be our autumn read. That'll be the next one we're doing. But I do want to pick up the pace with this one because I've lapsed far too long, and as weather is getting cooler now, it makes life easier to be recording in a very enclosed hot studio that can't have air in it because that just makes noise. Okay, enough babbling. Most of all, apart from any advice, apart from everything I say, please take care of yourselves, and I look forward to reading for you again in the next couple of days, crossing fingers that it will go well and the air will cool and freshen and no drama and it'll be all nice and fluffy. Yes. Big love. I appreciate you all, and most of all, take care, Petal.